Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything, everything. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris.
Hey,
How you doing? You right?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, good. Can you see me properly?
I can see you very clearly. Can you see me okay? Let me turn this light
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, long time, long time.
I know. It's been a while.
Beard gang.
Uh, Man, that's it.
I want to get
Beard
into
gang, light gang,
I'm
work gang.
your roots. I want to, yeah, give you a good comb and a brush.
Oh man, yeah. Give me the dreads and everything.
Yeah, man. Join the dread crew. Join the
What's
dread
going
family.
on, Ginge DJ? My G Chris. Alright, cool, cool. How you been anyway?
I've been all right, busy, very busy, trying to stay level-headed given lockdown and a global pandemic and work
Cool.
and yeah, I'm trying to just maintain balance and inner peace.
So how did you deal with lockdown and all that? The
You know,
quarantine and all that when it
do you
first
know
happened?
what? I have to be honest, like there were ups and there were downs. Like the ups were like bliss, just I was going for walks and going to the park and exercising, and then other days I was just like, the news and yeah, just ups and downs, ups and downs. I tried to keep myself busy with just finding things to do, like clearing out the house and yeah. How about you? How did you find it?
I was still working. They classed me as key worker. But when I work, we weren't working as much at the time. So there was a lot of times where when I was at home, I was one second. I was yeah, finding things to do, and then I stumbled across. Well, the guys helped me stumble across doing this lives, and
Yeah.
then the live was. I think I was just gonna just do like one or two or four lives and leave it at that, and then that just ended up being a constant thing.
Yeah, it's
So,
good. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's
so
funny because basketball is an interesting area for me. Like I
yeah,
think I was supposed to be like an athlete and
yeah,
it just never happened. It never
yeah,
ever
yeah.
happened.
Oh, never happened. Have you not thought about doing it? Did you ever try it or anything?
Do you know what? In school I used to play netball,
Hmm.
and I played a bit of basketball, but I was always goalkeeper. I'm 6'2" for those who are
Yeah.
listening. I'm very tall, so people always ask like, "Oh, do you play basketball?" Like, and I'm like, "Nah, it just never happened. I fell off." But
I, I like that you tell your actual height. You know when some girls want to tell everyone they're 5'11" when they're blatantly 6'3" or something.
I
Oh, I
can't
say you're
lie.
6'2", man. No, I'm 5'11". Don't like 6 foot.
And do you know what? You got the shorter women that lie about their height and say they're taller. So I just say I'm 6'2".
Listen, I just say straight. I'm 5'10". If a girl's tall and she's taller than me, I tell her straight I'm 5'10". If you don't like me, then I can't help you. It
It is. It is what it is.
is
But
what it
yeah,
is, man.
6'2". I think I was supposed to be a basketball player, or maybe I was in a previous life. But there's been a couple of like friends, male friends that I've played one-on-one hoops with a few times over the years who have tried to be like, "Oh, I play. I'm gonna win," and I'd be like, "Okay, let's do one-on-one," and I would
Yeah.
always win, and I'm like, I don't even play ball. So yeah, I
Oh,
do like
damn.
I like to get competitive, even though I don't play, just for the fun of
Do you
it.
know any famous athletes? You know
Um,
much? No.
like not really. I don't actually follow basketball too tough.
Right.
Um, it's not the work that I do at the moment. Like this is going back years in terms of when
Yeah.
I used to play sport.
That's fine. That's fine. All
Yeah.
right. Good. So let people know, man. Where did you grow up?
London, South London, sunny South. Yeah. Actually, so for those who don't know, me and Chris go way back, don't we?
Way, way, way back. Way
Way
back.
back. Chris is my boy. He's my G. Like, oh, it's so nice to see you. But yeah, South London, sunny South, born and bred, born and bred from South. So yeah.
Nice, nice. So this is what I want to know as well. So when did you start getting into speaking about mental health, and when did you get into what is it that got you into being a self-care and self-love advocate?
Good question, really good question actually. So I before I went into mental health work, I used to teach. I used to be a maths teacher in secondary schools. I know that's another story, but I did that for about 8 or 9 years, and it got to a point where I burnt out. I had to just stop. I was exhausted. I gave so much to the education system, and then dealing with my own personal things, the workload, the workplace politics, and so I had to just leave the education system completely and just focus on my own self-care. I had to I went on a recovery journey because I burnt out. And so on that journey, I kind of traveled, and I went on I traveled to Africa. I went to visit the motherland because I wanted to connect with our heritage, our deeper heritage, and get to know self a bit more. And I met someone who delivers training in mental health, and so I was telling her a bit about my background, and she said, "You might be really good at this. I think you should explore it." So that was almost 2 years ago. So I was looking for a new venture anyway, and it just kind of came to me on that journey. And so it's been just over a year, maybe about 15 months now, that I've been a mental health first aid trainer. So I train people how to spot the signs of poor mental health. And so I kind of tap into my own experiences, as well as kind of experiences with other people who have struggled with their mental health, to really add flavor to the training. So yeah, really
Okay.
powerful course.
So that's how you got into it. All right. And then what is it that made you, well, you probably think you might have answered it, but what is that made you fall in love with wanting to pursue this as a career in some kind of way, and pursue this to be part of your life?
I think because of when I experienced burnout, my mental health was at its worst, I found that people around me in the workplace, my friends, not all, but many friends and family, they just didn't know how to respond to my challenges. Um, they didn't understand what was going on, or just didn't know how to say the right thing. And so when I learned about this training and experienced the training, and I thought, wow, like I can relate to all of this. This means it meant something to me. So I'm not just doing this because it's a job. I'm doing it because I get it. I've been in the shoes of the person who doesn't know who hasn't had the appropriate support. And so, yeah, it's coming from a place
Yeah,
of, so through my own healing, I can kind of add to the training because I'm coming out the other end.
that's dope. That's dope. I like that. I like that. I get that as well.
Okay, Nick.
Nick, what's up, Nick? So we're gonna say, so talk us through your journey, man. You know, like when you discovered it. So you said you went to Africa and that. How did that whole experience go?
Listen, I went to Ghana, Accra, and Ghana is magical, honestly. Like it was just a really magical experience. So many things happened. I learned so much about myself and my culture, um, my history. Like we did loads. We did a lot. We went to like a wood crafting store, and like really got into some wood crafting. We visited like some beautiful beaches. We went to a few museums, ate local food. We were amongst the locals. It was just a real experience, a real African eye-opening experience. And I think what we all often see of Africa and how it's depicted is often a negative. So it was really nice to see it for myself, and I fell in love.
Yeah.
It was a healing experience as well, very healing experience.
How was that healing experience? How was it that moment when you felt healed at that moment? Like,
Do you know what I can remember specifically? There was when we went to a beach, and I went exploring. It was a really quiet beach. It was just us there. There's like 10 of us. And I went and sat on these rocks on the coast, so I could hit the waves were crashing on the rocks, and I sat there in just complete silence, in solitude, and the breeze, the wind, the sea breeze was blowing on my face, and it felt like my ancestors were just blessing me with energy and healing. Like that was what I recall the most like significant part of that journey.
Definitely. I think yeah, that's definitely. I definitely need to go there myself somewhere
Yeah,
in Africa just to, But I did learn some healing here as well. I think there's certain things that when I went through my mental health, it was my uncle that helped me. So he just helped me with certain things. He just taught me about energy. And little things like that. You don't think energy is part of why you're getting sick.
mm,
It's mad. Like when he started breaking it down, why he moves away a certain way. And then when I started realizing, I was like, wait a minute, this guy's making sense, man. Like stress can do so much to you, can do much to your organs,
yeah,
to your mind, not just your mind, your organs. How like I have
everything.
eczema. It's stressed that my eczema got real bad, and yeah, man, you just think, geez, like you
Yeah,
can't understand how important energy is.
stress is closely linked to poor mental health or good mental health. So if we're not managing our stress levels, then we can start to see problems developing. And so,
Oh,
yeah, it really does begin with managing stress.
nice, nice. So, what is your like with mental health? What is your understanding of it? Like mental
Um,
health to you?
we all have mental health. All of us have mental health. There's a lot of stigma around the word mental. Mental is another word for mind. We all have a mind, and we all have mind health. In
Yeah.
the same way that we have physical health. Um,
People
so
think mental is like crazy. It's not that.
yeah,
It's not.
yeah, the stigma attached to the word mental, and that people automatically often assume that it's a bad thing. But we all have mental health, and our mental health is fluid, so it's always moving. So it can be good one day, bad the next day, but it's a matter of monitoring how you're feeling through periods of time to make sure you're okay. But we all have mental health in the same way that we have physical health, and it's about maintaining both of them, making sure they're both in sync.
Definitely, definitely. I think with mental health as well, it's deceiving from my experiences from where I work is sometimes you can't even see it physically sometimes. Mental
Yeah,
health can creep up. You might look at someone and you might think they are so fine, they're
yeah,
all right, but they could be going through the most
and
deepest stuff. I think that was what was happening with me
yeah.
once. I still was smiling with everyone, but no one knew what I was going through because I had that pride of don't want to look vulnerable. So
Yeah,
let me just,
it's that
yeah, man.
it's like an iceberg. So we
Hmm.
often only see the tip, but the signs are often there. So even though it's invisible to an extent, we can see mental health through.
Everything, everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris.